Good night, everybody. Good evening. Good night. It's really thank you for joining me, Garrett. You're on the East Coast, so it's 11:30 p.m. For you, and you're gonna stay up with me and talk nerdy shit, which I love.
It is a tad late. I got a tournament. I gotta leave at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh no! I didn't know we were gonna give you sleep deprivation before Adelaide. All right. Well, it's Fido, right?
Knock it out.
All right. So now your camera has decided to go blurry, which is perfect. We just went through all the voice check and video quality check, and you looked great.
Now I'm blurry.
Yeah, but whatever. It's fine. Anyway, how you doing, man?
Yeah, doing good. Life's good. I've been installing sod in my front yard for like 9 hours today.
Oh boy.
But yeah, while I was installing sod, I thought of a kind of a cool granite concept, and when I was done, I went and wrote it down and ended up with some cool ideas. But life's good. I'm off for the weekend, so chilling.
Dope. So we're gonna get to a couple of Garrett's lists later. I should actually introduce you. This is the professional quality that my viewers have come to expect from a nerd with a microphone who does not do this professionally. Anyway, I'm here with Garrett. You will know him as a rising star in the Grey Knight competitive YouTube scene. Objective Secured is his YouTube channel. If you haven't heard of it, which if you're here, you probably have, but there is a link in the description down below. Please click it. Please sub. He has content coming out all the time. He's a very competitive player. He's very intelligent, and he's well-spoken. If you want to learn a lot very quickly, go to his channel. If you want to learn a lot very slowly, stay here.
Or you can do both and learn all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So the codex dropped just about a month ago. I guess we're probably a week short. I've gotten in 3 games. You've gotten in what, 12 or 14 or something? Maybe even more.
Probably close to 30.
Damn. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So I had pretty much the whole codex a couple weeks in advance, just between leaks and things like that. And
oh yeah.
Once I saw the points, I started whipping up lists and playing like essentially like a week and a half before the book officially even came out. And like between TTS and real life and tournaments, I'm probably pushing 30 games right now with the new book.
That's fantastic. So I have 1/10 the experience as you do.
Yeah, very sweaty behavior on my part.
Yeah, and I can't see a single droplet of sweat on your camera now, so at least you clean up well.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about our thoughts, our feelings. We're going to talk about what we like, what we don't like, what we could change. Feel free at any time to ask us questions of why we do this live. Otherwise, I would pre-record it and do really cool, professionally done videos with neat transitions and like quote boxes and sound effects like buzzers and stuff. But no, we just do it live. So let's get into it, man. How do you feel about the state of Grey Knights? How do you feel we are versus Index Hammer with our one single extra detachment?
So I think the book as a whole is a lot better than people give it credit for. Like on your first glance of the book, when you read through it, there's not a ton of anything broken that pops out. There's no like sustain 2, there's no like lance, there's not there's really no, I mean, let's call it is. There's not very many cool tools to amp our damage, really, but everything that was already good got better.
Or our durability.
Right, nothing for durability unless you consider like running away in a couple of different attachments like durability, but like the dataseeds that were good all got better. So like Purifiers got a giant buff. The Grandmaster Dread Knight, I don't really like Dread Knights too much, but he got objectively significantly better with the Melta. Paladin's got a huge buff. I think the librarian, this might be controversial, but I think the librarian is way better than he was in the index, just for the role that he plays now for the army.
Yes. Yeah, I see what you mean.
The 120 point casino librarian, I hated that. Whenever I saw somebody playing 3 of that guy, like solo, I'm just like, it just drives me nuts.
I did that a couple times, and I know what I knew what I was doing. I was like, I'm just gonna go hard, just gonna go for it, and it's very fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless they all kill themselves on the same turn.
Yes, so I've been on the solo librarian train like for more than one game, and I promise I'm not lying, but they kill themselves the first activation every game I've tried to use that solo guy. And I'm just like, I can't play a game 120 points down. It's like annoying.
Or 240 or 360.
Yeah, so like I see some of these team tournaments like triple solo librarian with the Vortex of Doom. I'm just like, I guess, dude, if it works for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the new librarian I think is really good in a lot of different roles, and really like building a Grenade list now is so much more interesting than it was just because of the tools that we have in this book. I think like 4 of the detachments are realistically playable, I think, at a high level. And yeah, I really like most of them, frankly. The Terminator one and Augur are a little bit behind in my opinion.
Yeah, when I saw the Hollow Conclave was a Terminator specific detachment, I was like, yes, and I read the rules and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
oh
like
no.
The enhancements. The detachment rule is kind of decent, and the enhancements are like solid, but then you get to the strats, you're like, ooh, I have a D6 reactive move with my like 1.5 inch bases, so like if I roll a 1, I'm just stuck over the wall still. It's like, it feels really clunky. That's
Also,
kind of like the theme.
Fall back and shoot from a unit that doesn't, like, they're not known for shooting.
Yeah,
like, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if you live through like 10 Harlequins charging you and then you get to fall back and shoot them with your Stormbolters, it feels really good. But everything else you're gonna just plink off of.
Yeah, they needed to give that detachment like Armor of Contempt or something, because
Like
Terminators,
permanent?
No, like in a hand, like a strat, because like Terminators still just die. I don't know how many games you play with Terminators, but like
No,
they're fake durability. They're like fake durable. It's not real.
Well, this is an excellent. So this is great. So Garrett was asking me like before we went live, like, how does this work? And I'm like, we just have a conversation. Like, this isn't structured at all. In fact, I stopped even going through my own videos to add chapters because we jump around all over the place. So I love this. So the thing is, Terminators were awesome when there was like a plethora of 2 damage weapons. Then they started coming out with a whole bunch of 3 damage weapons.
Damage creep is
real. Like, so I think the first thing that really hit me in 10th was the fucking Forge Fiend.
Oh, that guy will
like,
just rip the paladin up.
Yeah, like sustained and lethal with the Hellbrute nearby, re-rolling, I don't know, everything, +1 to wound, I don't remember, like all the stacks, and then to find out it has blast, and it does flat 3 damage, it's just like, I don't, like, what the hell?
It puts you exactly on your invulnerable.
Yeah, it's just...
in cover, it's very sad. Yes.
So then Dark Angel's got some 4 wound Terminators. I'm like, it'd be really cool if our Paladins got 4. Oh, no.
Yeah, they
didn't get 4 wounds.
No, they. I think Paladins certainly should be 4 wounds. I don't care if they went up like 5 points a model. If they were 4 wounds, that unit would be.
I don't know, man. They're all
so much more. They're a little pricey.
Well,
everything in this book is overpriced.
They hit a lot harder now on the charge. That's for sure. Like, I'm still thinking about like the old teleport assault days from early 10th where you ran 3 10-man bricks, 2 of Terminators and 1 of Paladins. So, but yeah, so now they are 45 points a model, and when you compare them to Death Shrouds, like, just give them an extra wound and just walk away. Like, it's fine.
Oh, you mean they're not equal to the T7 4-wound guys with 28 attacks between 3 guys
and 6-inch deep strike in every detachment,
and lethal hits built in, and then they get lance and sustained. Huh.
Yeah. I don't think they're equivalent to that. No.
Yeah, believe it or not, that book came out before this one.
Yeah. It's true.
But I think when you plug in a librarian, with the paladins, they get a bunch of fake durability, which I think is very cool for them. It helps them like play the game really different when you have 18 inch blown up, which is an advantage obviously Destro doesn't have.
Yeah, that's true. And like, let's also be fair. Purifiers now eat Death Shroud for breakfast.
They eat most of Warhammer actually. They're like little piranhas, dude.
Yeah, Paladin or Purifiers are. We got a huge glow up.
Yeah, they're the backbone of any of my non-Dread Knight lists. The Purifiers are the backbone of how I'm winning usually.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some of your latest games. So it sounds like you have a pretty competitive team. I assume you play mostly with your own team and maybe some other like competitive-minded folks from your area, or I guess you're on TTS a ton. So who knows? Probably from all over the world, right?
I play Warhammer in a lot of different axes.
Yeah. So like, how do you feel? Like, what feels good? What feels bad?
So any infantry or elite infantry heavy matchup is basically a buy, like a free win, more or less. Like if my opponent rolls up to the table and they have, that just is cooked.
Yeah,
pretty much. I think that if the opponent is playing something like Emperor's Children, it's World Eaters in some capacity, like any kind of like power armor heavy list, whatever, pretty much I think doesn't actually play a good game into Grey Knights like at all. With this book, where I personally have to really stretch my brain and how I play, is any lists that have things that are like
T10,
T9, 10, 9,
T11.
10, 11, basically. Yeah. I don't play like in most of the lists that I consider good. I have either 1 to 0 Grandmaster NDKs in it, right? So what that means is that if something is toughness 12, I essentially have a really hard time cracking it because the purifiers when on 6s, right? But anything that's T11 or lower, if you get the purifiers into it, you'll pretty much kill it all the time. It doesn't matter what it is.
Especially if it's on an objective, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So people like when I was floating around my Banisher list with like no Dread Knights in it. Everyone was like super stressed on how I'm killing like knights and stuff like that. And a big knight on a point just gets flipped. Like
really?
If Purifiers get
with a 10-man with Crow, you mean?
No, just a 10-man.
Really? So a 5-man with Crow will just kill a big knight?
No, 10.
Okay, a 10-man with Crow. Yeah, that.
No,
sorry.
No, a 10-man solo.
Right, but like so that. Oh, okay.
Like a 10-man unit with
after you charge as well.
Yeah, so shooting
gotcha.
shooting charge and a grenade and a little bit of support from like your list, or sometimes on you almost will always just flip a big knight if it's on an objective. And if it's a chaos knight, it's just dead.
Especially in Banishers, yeah.
Yeah, which is my favorite detachment at the moment. But yeah, if there's a chaos knight or a chaos thing on an objective. When you're playing Banishers, like that thing is doesn't stand a chance to survive.
Yeah, I bet you'd love to see a Lord of Skulls now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he is T13, I think, T12. So in
melee, you don't care.
Not as great in melee, but yeah, shooting wise, you'll put out like probably anywhere from 12 to 14 wounds on it, and just shooting with Crow's unit, super cool.
Yeah.
And Ghouls die to Stormbolters, which is the funniest thing ever.
Well, I mean, like, God damn it, that's the thing, right? Like, in the lore, right? I'm gonna be a lore dork for a moment, right? Like, the reason they carry like sanctified rounds in their Stormbolters and fire Stormbolters is because they're usually fighting things that have no armor. They just go right to like an invul save, right? So what they need is massive amounts of firepower that isn't like just a shitload of shots, not high damage shots. But then you go into a meta like this and you gotta kill a Vindicator every fucking round you're playing the game.
Yeah, Vindicators are a bit rough. To get to. That's one of those units that I actually just like play around generally, and I only engage with it if it's like kind of forced, like I'm forced to. But yeah, I think Banishers has a ton of skill expression with setting up Miscedaemos, which is called like Shadows of Anarch now.
Yeah, everybody
can-
just calls it Miss. We all like
Yeah,
ignore that change. What's so dumb about that too is they didn't like give another detachment the name Miss of Deimos. They just got rid of the name Miss of Deimos.
Yeah, it's just that epitomizes the thought
Like-
process in the book at some point.
Yeah, it's like they didn't. Yeah, I don't know. That was such a. By the way, I should actually plug you again right now. If you want to see an expertly described way to use a 10-man interceptor squad to force your opponent to come out and fight you, and then miss away, because I refuse to call it Shadows of Anarch.
Yeah, I respect that.
You miss away, right? Like, and you keep them off of 2 objectives for 2 or 3 turns out of a game, and you just get them down on primary. Go to his channel, Objective Skier. There's a link down below. Like, he's way better at this game than I am. I'm just personable and have nice hair.
I've never seen you play it.
I'm the scourge of the mid tables, man.
I mean, hey, that's not a terrible place to be.
Yeah. At LVO 900 people, I hit like, I think it was 333 or something like that.
That's not bad.
It's not terrible, but it's not. Yeah. Anyway, I'm okay. I am 6 out of 10.
At the Dallas Open, I went. I think I was 6-2 at the Open with pre-Codex Warpbane. I think it should have been 7-1. I made like a dumb mistake last round. You know, it is what it is. We're in a new book now. Life is good.
So what we do well is we kill elite infantry. Obviously, we're like the most mobile, consistently mobile, like army in the game. What else is good before we go into what's bad?
Yep. So what's good is when you understand like the play pattern of this army and how you commit your units. So I'm trying to keep it like generic, but Banishers, like you generally only want to commit like 1 unit at a time. And that's sort of like a theme in Grey Knights. Like where I see people struggle the most in Grey Knights is they lose like 3 or 4 units in 1 turn. That's very bad. But let me stay focused. Or what else we're good at? We're good at playing secondaries. Obviously, that like has never changed. Very good for us. We can set up to score pretty much every secondary in the game all the time, except behind enemy lines if our opponent is able to like fully screen it.
Gene Stealer Colts.
Yeah, they can certainly screen you out. Behind is like a very sad draw early game these days against like a good player. I think that it plays Warhammer very, very well once you get the hang of it, and you can put a game into every faction in the game, in my opinion. Now, my wins with Banishers are always pretty tight. Like even if there's games where like I'm like I will be outplaying my opponent every possible moment, but I now know the whole game I'm going to win by like 12. But like it's hard to shove a huge differential in Banishers at least. Warpbane a little bit more so, but I have my own critiques on that detachment personally. Oh, Farley, what's up, dude? I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. He says you should go to bed. I already told him. I didn't know, man, Michael. I didn't know when we went live that he had a tournament tomorrow. So don't hate, please, or do
He's one
whatever.
of my Grey Knight. He's one of my Grey Knight peers, actually.
Pierce, wow, nice.
Yes, he's very good. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the stuff that does well. I think like I would not say that this army is gonna go murder everybody. And this is definitely not an army that I think you could like buy from a used shelf and then turn around and go win an RTC with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think a lot of the play styles in this faction, at the highest level, I guess, is very like complicated. And it takes a lot of reps.
I've definitely had I've had games even before the Codex hit, but where like I've been heavy on the Warpbane train with like Razorbacks and Purifiers and Razorbacks and stuff. Which, by the way, let me just say real quick, going from like never using transports to having like 4 in a list is wild. Because like I'm like, oh my god, I can just have them do behind enemy lines. I can have them do like whatever stupid secondary, like established locus or whatever. Great. Like my Rhino gets to do that in the middle, and then I have things to go actually do cool shit. But like there have been games where like I set up, turn 3, like I flip things, I go, and I'll kill like 1,200 points of the enemy's army in like one shooting
like,
phase.
And you feel like your army is the most broken thing you've ever played in your life.
And you're like, sorry. But dude, sometimes you just get whacked, man. Like
yeah, that's like that's the Warpbane. Warpbane lifestyle is essentially you like the reason I'm not a huge fan of Warpbane is because I feel like it relies on your opponent's play way too much, if that makes sense.
yeah, I think you brought that up in one of your videos, actually. I think you actually just flat out said that. Yeah.
I ranked Warpbane as my second, I think the second best attachment behind Banishers, just because of that sole fact. And granted, like, I made that video with the mentality of like winning a major, winning a super major, winning a GT, right? Because when I play against, you know, mid to high-ish level players, there will be times where Warpbane will just like, oh, you expose like too much stuff, and my Dread Knights kill your profile really well. All right, you're dead. You lose.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Sorry, custodes.
Yeah, you hit with like 90%. Yeah, you hit with like 90% of your shots, right? And you then like wound on 3s or 2s with like almost all of those.
Yeah, and you're not gonna right to their end ball. It's 3 damage or something. Yeah.
And you're just like, wow,
Real
I just
good.
folded his whole faction. And then you're gonna play. Then you play against like someone parks a Dorn on their expansion, and you're like, oh well.
Gotta get the Grandmaster in there. It's my only shot.
Yeah.
I don't have one in this list.
Yeah. So then what you do is you continue to shove guys on there and deny it until the game ends. Basically, is how I handle that usually. So, yeah.
I gotta say just real quick, if you guys haven't gotten on the like Rhino like Razorback train yet, even if you gotta play with it with like a pack of cigarettes to like be like whatever, try it out, man. It is so fun. Like I only really play elite armies. Like I was playing Death Guard a little bit before the like Codex, and I had 30 or 3 units of 20 cultists in my list. I don't remember if it was 3 units of 10 or 3 units of 30. But having dudes that I could just throw away was like magical. It's the most magical thing.
Oh, you can't. Your whole unit's on this wall. Cool. I'm gonna park my Razorback here, so now you can't move.
Yeah. So like that's where I was going. It's like the Razorback's really cool. It's 85 points. It moves up. Maybe it shoots something. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it whatever. Like you can just shove it like in between 2 buildings, and then they have to do something. They have to take care of it, right? Like if you want to make Emperor's Children or like World Eaters, not the detachment with the 6 in Consolidate and Pile in, because that one will kill you anyway. But if you want to make any of the rest of their like detachments really sad, just give them a Razorback to chew on for a turn.
On a lot of layouts that has search and destroy, what I'll do is I'll put my strike squad in one of the transports right on the line, and then if I go first, I'll scout at 6, get the strikes out, run it back to my home, and then advance the Rhino and just put it sideways in front of their little pocket on their layout, and they can't leave their deployment zone because of the Rhino sitting there. And in Banisher, sometimes I just keep my strike squad in it, and I just go advance and charge the strike squad into their DZ on turn 1, and then block the rest with the freaking
Oh man, that's funny.
Rhino. So cool, so good. Yeah,
I like
very powerful stuff.
I like that. Yeah. And then like late game too, you're like, I'm out of scoring units. No, I'm not. They haven't put shots into my 2 remaining Razorbacks on my 1 Rhino, so they can just go like like they move 12.
Sometimes the tempo of the game, the tempo of the game like lets them live, and when they can like charge like a thing that can't fall back and shoot late game, it's just like the best feeling ever.
Yeah. Get on TTS. Try it out. The models cost you nothing on TTS after you spend the like what? It's always on sale. It's like it's like 15 or 10 if you get it on a sale.
TTS is a great tool for practicing and like deployments and like looking at what your guys can do on certain layouts and stuff. It's cool.
if you are in this hobby, $20 for a game that lets you play any single faction forever, with any model you ever want, is the most bang for your buck you're ever going to get. Because we spend, what is it? I was talking with my Votan buddy who, the Thunderkin Warriors are like $65 for 3 models, so that's $20 per model.
Yeah, this game
It's
is
like, there you go.
once you're established.
Look,
Yeah.
for one Thunderkin, you can play any army in the game with any model you want. Against a whole world full of players who are probably better than you.
Yeah,
And then you'll learn. Yeah, and then you'll
Stay
learn.
home and do it too.
Yeah, and if you hate painting, you don't have to paint anything. I love painting, but
Yeah, I outsource my painting generally
nice.
to my buddies.
No, I gotta. That, if you can see my video, that's just my contrast paints.
Oh yeah, you're definitely into
And
that
there's-
hobby more than me.
And there's more above it you can't see on my video. And then on the other side of this big shelf are 3 more racks of paints.
Heck yeah, I think I have a bucket somewhere in my house for emergency battle ready.
Nice. You're like 1 red powder and 1 white powder and silver paint. We're good to go.
If it comes to that,
Green
yeah,
base.
yeah, if it comes to that, hopefully it doesn't.
Just full on 3rd edition, just green base. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow I have to figure out. I'm like proxying a couple purgation guys. So I don't have enough special weapons for my list.
I want to get back to what's good real fast, but I bought my army off of a friend, like ass and an ace. He'd had these guys since like 4th or 5th, because it's right after we got all our plastic sculpts, so it was 5th, and he hadn't played in like many editions. I bought him off of him, the army, for like $200, and I was so new to the game at the time that I didn't even know what kind of deal I got. I was just like, that sounds fair, whatever, like, you're a friend of mine, you're not gonna screw me over. I did the math later, and it's like a $1,300 army if I bought it all new, and I got it for $200 already painted.
Oh wow.
But it came with so many purgation dues.
Dude, I'll buy them from you.
So many. I have like 30 purgation guys, and they have like all kinds of crazy weapons. It's never like, some have been like converted into purifiers for the flamer and stuff like that. But yeah, I got a shitload of dudes with heavy weapons. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm working on finishing up my little batch of them.
So what do we do bad, man? So what feels bad? We talked about what feels good. What feels bad?
Yeah, I mean, I think I covered just about everything that feels good, frankly. Flexibility and attachments is the last thing, probably. But what's bad, I think...
Well, that's a game design thing, and that's a completely different discussion.
Yeah, our ability to handle toughness 12 outside of a Dread Knight is terrible. Basically non-existent. So that's very sad. So luckily, though, that really translates to a Rogel Dorn. Rogel Dorn and some attachments in a Guo, but Banishers can handle Guos. Dorns are very, very hard for us to take care of. Other things we don't do well in most builds is trade. And if people don't know like exactly what I mean by that is when I expose a unit to kill something, pretty much should always assume that thing you're going to expose is going to die on the following turn. Especially turns like 1 and 2. Turns 1 and 2 Warhammer are like feeling out your opponent, seeing like, if I do this, how are you going to react to this? And then you can quickly find out what their mentality of the game is by like turn 2, and you react accordingly. So grenades generally always trade down, which is very sad because 2-up armor is fake. 2-up armor is not real. It's just like, it's there to tell someone you have a 2-up armor, and then you still die to AP1. It doesn't matter. Right? And that's kind of how I've accepted it. So when you trade down, that means that you have to do 2 things. You have to always make sure you're catching angles to kill your opponent's stuff that makes them have to put their stuff in a really unfavorable spot to where you can for sure kill it the next turn. Because what you can't do is go out, trade down, die, and not be able to trade back again. I know that's very complicated, like, if that makes sense. So like an example would be, let's say our opponent puts like, I don't know, a rhino on like the middle objective, right? There's two different ways to take care of it. Number one, you kill it, or number two, you go contest it. And in a lot of Grey Knight builds, like if you're not playing a transport that's going to be able to drive there and tie with them, you're committing like an interceptor unit, you're committing a Dread Knight, you're committing a lot of these valuable units to like just stop your opponent from scoring. And that's very bad. Because then now all of a sudden your opponent gets to pop out their Rep X or whatever they're playing that's cringe and cross court kill your Grandmaster Dread Knight because they never make saves ever.
No,
and now
it's true.
Yeah, they just
Four up pinball's also a lie.
Fake. I don't think I've ever CP'd a 4-up into I don't think I've ever failed a 4-up, CP'd it, and made it ever one time. I swear. But that's just that's like the usual play pattern I see from like newish people learning this faction, which circles back to the win rate, but we can talk about it later. So trading down is a huge one. Building your list to where you have an early answer to your opponent's stuff is very, very important, because if once they run out of trade pieces, I don't, do you want me to like go into super detail here?
Yeah, no, that's actually, so very quickly, I'll state that like I started this channel because when I was getting into this hobby, I would listen to podcasts, and the podcast is 45 minutes, and they'd have like Richard Siegler on, like, hey man, you just like won this huge tournament. Let's joke for 5 minutes, talk about the tournament for 5 minutes, and then you're gone. And we talk about the next thing, like painting. And I'm like, no, I want to talk to Richard Siegler for 15 minutes about why he picked one HQ choice. Like, so
cool.
please go into as much agonizing detail as you want.
So the profile like the trading down piece is very easily solved, as long as you approach like what you're doing a certain type of way. All right, so when your opponent plays Grey Knights, they're going to do one of two things on their first turn, right? Number one is they're either going to shove their entire army on their expansion and tell you to go kill it, or number two, they're going to play this little here's my scout squad. I'm gonna put my left toe on the middle objective with my scout squad, and then on my expansion, I'm gonna go park, my one OC combi lieutenant, right? And a lot of Grey Knight players that either A, don't know, or B, they haven't built their list to be able to handle that. What they end up having to do is go commit like a purifier unit or something else that matters significantly more to us than the opponent's unit.
Yeah.
So when you start playing transports and interceptors with fire and fade and these other units that maybe don't do a ton of damage, but they allow you to slow the pace of the game down if your opponent doesn't want to play fast. Because if your opponent chooses to play a very laid back cagey game against Grey Knights, they will lose like every time. When you know when you like understand how the Grey Knight army functions, because what you're going to be able to do is you're going to pick them apart with your interceptors until their screens become the stuff that matters. And as soon as they're having to screen with a Vindicator or screen with freaking like a Deathwing Knight unit and that kind of stuff, that's when you get to rapid ingress your Grandmaster Dread Knight and go charge and kill it, right? If you aren't picking out screens over the course of like turns 1, 2, and 3,
yeah,
you're never going to be able to open yourself up to like have good deep strikes. Because against good players at high level tables, if you don't have units that are fast enough to go clear out the table, you're never going to be able to deep strike, and you're always going to be trading down like the whole game.
That's just kind of the way, yeah, that's the way we played all of 10th. Like, people were, there's a very common question with new players who are like, how do I deal against, let's say, Garrett with just shitload of infantry? And they screen me out. And I'm like, everybody's like, kill the screens, brother.
Yep.
Like, score what you can, throw away a unit if you have to, if it like gives you 11 points or something, but like otherwise you just gotta sit there and kill their screens.
Like I'm always happy to trade down if it like I will throw away just about any unit I have if it means I clear a relevant screen. Like every time. Like if Crow's unit can drop in and kill like hypothetically like two 10-man cultist units, I don't care. That's fine. I will do that. I'll do that play. If I have an opportunity to clear all of my opponent's screens in a turn, I'm gonna use whatever resource I need to do that, because what that means is now your turns like 3, 4, 5 after that the board is like you can do whatever you want on the board. You essentially increase your movement by like 30 inches every unit, and that's something that like people get scared of because then we feel like we got to hold our bricks in the air for the whole game until we have an open spot to deep strike. But if you can like commit something to go clear out a screen, now your opponent is like that. Just that space is now wide open for you to drop the next turn or rapid, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Other stuff we don't do well is, I mean, trading is the biggest one. Once you learn how to play that pattern, your win rate will probably increase by like 30%, frankly. Right, my win rate's about 87% or so at the moment. With the new book, I think I'm like 26-4 or something since the book came out.
Well, I am 1-2. I mean, or no, I am 2-1 actually. No, yeah, I'm 1-2. I've won 1, lost 2.
I mean, nothing wrong with that, man. It's all good. I didn't mean to lie on something.
No, I mean, like, that's why you're on here, is you're a better player than I am. Like, you play a lot more. You obviously have a very analytical way of playing the game. Where, like, I still have trouble deploying some games. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm actually making a video on deployment coming up.
Yeah, great. Yeah, love that.
It's generic video on deployment, not necessarily Grey Knight focused, but...
well, you should do both. IMO.
I probably should. I love the Grey Knight stuff.
Although really, with the like changes to Gate of Infinity now, like really, I can't think of a lot of times that you don't put almost everything on the board.
Correct. I start my whole arm on the table, just about everything.
Yeah, like, you know, there used to be a bunch of cagey shit we did where like, oh, I'm gonna put like one Grandmaster with Sigil into like reserves almost every game, and then I rapid ingress him, and yeah, like we don't do that anymore, really.
Another thing we do really well is go second, by the way.
Yes. Oh my god, it's like the most important role in the game.
Yeah, that's another part. Like going bad. On the bad side is I think a lot of people will say Grey Knights are actually really bad going first, and that's a skill curve thing as well, in my opinion. It also comes back to like how you build your list. If you build your list to have the opportunity to go plug and jail their deployment zone and then move block them with 10 interceptors and then move block them with 5 interceptors, all of a sudden it's turn 4 and they haven't left their DZ. It's like very realistic to like do that. And going first is a lot harder, but going first, if you focus on denying their primary and staging yourself to deny the primary, it ends up being really manageable. But going first is a weakness for some lists. And that's where list building becomes very, very important with this faction. Because if you build it way too anvil heavy or hammer heavy, you end up with like these slow moving idiots that can't do anything but kill stuff. And then you can't kill stuff fast enough and you lose on the bottom turn. That's how it usually goes. Other stuff that we sort of struggle with, we struggle with Eldar, specifically Warhost Eldar. Anything that isn't a transport, some lists have a really hard time dealing with. Specifically, the Wave Serpent is just a bitch to kill. I hate that thing. -1 to wound if you're stronger, which you are with your Dread Knight, and then you shoot it once and it moves like 11 inches away. It's the most infuriating thing ever. And then if you don't kill it, Fugan and 10 Fire Dragons fly 24 inches across the table and kill a third of your army, and then get back in, and then it just is this like annoying cycle of that.
Sounds like playing Eldar.
Yeah. And then like really the durability thing is not the damage thing against the T11 stuff or T11 and higher stuff is like a real problem. Like I say the purifiers handle everything in the game, but which is like mostly true. However, it still requires like real CP investment. It requires you to commit the 10-man purifier unit for this thing that's likely only freaking 300 points or less, right?
Yeah.
And the meltas on the Dread Knights like are fake, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
2 shots feels pretty bad. Gotta be honest.
Like 2 shots.
Strength 9. It's like whatever.
Come on. and like everything that gun matters at shooting, you're winning on 5s. Now a 5 re-rolling is like close to like a 3 up
Is it?
mathematically.
I thought it was basically. I mean, it's a 4 up, really, right?
It's like,
because you got to round up.
3.8.
Yeah,
It's like
so
a
it's a 4.
3.8. Yeah. But yeah, killing the durable stuff is like the biggest thing that I think people find. Basically, damage checks is kind of what that boils down to. And then the last thing is like this is a army that plays the game differently than everybody else, right? You have really expensive stuff. You have to use your stuff very carefully. You want to try and kill your opponent's stuff without losing your stuff, and that just can be a lot. It can be a lot to manage when you're learning the faction. On top of that, if it's like your first faction and you're learning Warhammer with this faction,
Yeah.
it's
Don't
gonna
be
just
like
feel
me, kids.
really hard.
Don't be like me, kids. And
Yeah.
we play Grey Knights first, yeah. Or do
But,
if you like a uphill battle. If you like playing Eve Online, where it's it's not
I know about
it's
it.
not a skill curve. It's like a skill cliff, and then eventually you can like plateau
Yeah,
out.
there
But,
will be a game that you play with Grey Knights, and you're like, holy, like that, and then all of a sudden the army clicks with you forever. Pretty
wow.
much.
Oh, I need to play that game.
I think that's gonna happen with me at least. Once I understood the trading concept, that's when like I said, I went from probably winning like half my games to like where I'm at now, and yeah, Warpane's really good at that.
I like Warpaint.
Yeah, Warpane's
It's
very cool. I'm playing
not-
Warpaint tomorrow.
It's not tough, like to learn. It's very blunt. Like you said, it's kind of like a hammer, and we are the hammer. But like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
playing Warpaint tomorrow, so.
Well, great. So we talked about what went well. We talked about or what we do well. We talked about what we did poorly. So with that in mind, like if you were given the opportunity, obviously, to make a balanced faction, like you can't say, oh, we all get 3,000 wounds and whatever. Like how would you? All right. So I guess let's pull back slightly. Let me open up my web browser for everyone to see. I know you know, most partially because we talked about it before we started this. But so our win rate, okay, there's only been 2 weeks, I think, that have been like recorded since both the Codex went live and it was after cutoffs for tournaments. So we're only looking at 2 weeks. But Grey Knights right now are sitting at like a 43% win rate. We only have like a very small amount of players, 174 over last weekend out of 10,000 players. So I don't know what the math is there, but it's just, I don't know, very low. Not a lot of Grey Knight players out there. Nobody's playing a Garo tax force, like nobody, which is not surprising. It's the worst one in the book. Almost everybody's gone back to Warpaint now. You see on this list a couple of Teleport Strike Force, which means obviously those are games played by tournaments that hadn't accepted the new.
I think they had it still as Brotherhood for that. I'm
Oh,
pretty
really?
sure that is also Brotherhood. Yeah.
Well, this is Brotherhood right here.
So I know initially they had in the app they had Brotherhood as Teleport Strike Force.
Oh, yeah, I don't use the app. I did quality engineering on apps for over like 10 years, and that app is garbage, and I hate it. I cannot use it. It's real bad. I need to do a video on that, by the way, like why I think that's a terrible app. But anyway, so almost half of us are playing Warpaint. The only people who went 4-1 this last week, so I guess this is where you're getting teleports. Strike Force. We had one person with Brotherhood go 4-1. I think it was 5-1 at that one specific tournament. But anyway,
yeah, someone did really good with Brotherhood over the last weekend. It was like 4 Dread Knights, and so, like a 4 Dread Knight list, I think.
Well, I mean, if you're playing Brotherhood, that's a fantastic amount of Dread Knights to bring. So like, what do you like? If you look at this, and I know you have your own thoughts, but like, if you are initially looking at this, how do you feel, right?
So I think the win rates on all that stuff except for Banishers feels pretty accurate. I actually don't have. I mean, I don't actually have the numbers in front of me. I just have a little chat.
Oh, I've got here. I will send you.
So Warping a 50 feels right. My guess would be that if you were to go look at all these events and find all your Warpbane lists, my guess would be that every Warpbane player lost to a good player. That would be my assumption. That they lost either rounds 1, 2, or 3, and then bullied the middle tables the rest of the game. That is likely.
That's me. That's me.
That's likely the cause of the Warpbane win rate being what it is. I said in one of my videos, like, I don't believe that Warpbane has the tools to win a super major level event with the current like list pattern that it is of like 3 Dread Knights and Purifiers and hoping your opponent can't kill you. That's like sort of the Warpbane life, which I personally don't like that much.
Which is actually insane. Like, if people have actually told you that with a straight face, that is insane. We melt. We have no defensive anything.
Yeah, like this is the fakest hey, armor saves.
Oh, Dirtbags is here too. What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Derek's here. Tommy's here.
So yeah, Brotherhood is really cool. It's got some awesome tools. As soon as somebody can solve the "I stayed on the table and now I suck" problem with that attachment, I think that
it's true.
I think it has some real legs because rerolling ones to hit and wound on Dread Knights is like super cool, and it's like adds a lot of value to those guys. I think that attachment Purgation squads are really cool, actually. I'm actually like low-key on the Purgation train at the moment with how I'm building lists.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Mm-hmm. I know people think they're trolling, but when you're re-rolling with them, they're actually pretty good at the game. But what was I talking about? Oh, Banishers is I don't like the word incredibly hard, but Banishers has the most skill expression, in my opinion, at winning the game and winning Warhammer. I think that Mists of Deimos is such a polarizing strat that once you like really master the pace and how to play with your army and force your opponent into like 2 terrible decisions with Mists, you'll find that like you're just going to constantly be winning your games by like 10 and 12 points with Banishers. They have the Feel No Pain, which is relevant in some matchups. Like the Eldar Warp Spiders can't just fly up and kill you in Banishers because you have the Feel No Pain against the Warp Spider unit, which is super significant. The 12-inch no deep strike aura is very strong in a Death Guard. The anti-chaos is very strong into the meta right now, into Thousand Suns, Death Guard, Chaos Knights. And then on top of all of that, you just get sustained or lethal most of the time in melee, which amps up your damage a ton. So I think you just find yourself... Yeah.
I feel like if our chaplain didn't suck, Banish would be cracked.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Why did he lose +1 to win?
If they had +1 to wound still, they were at 65 points. You'd be slamming them into like every unit that matters. You'd be getting your sustained or lethals on 5s, not 6s, and then you'd get +1 to wound, and they'd be like, oh,
you'd be
so
on.
good.
I'd be on 3 chaplain, 3 4-man paladin probably. That would be like a real list, a real list.
Yeah, it's good.
And then
that'd be good.
See ya, bro. Spearhead's really cool. Not really my favorite, to be honest, but Spearhead's very neat. It has some cool stuff to do things with. It's just got that problem with Warpbane. It's like you fly out and die. You know what I'm saying? You have no.
Yeah, like
you have no. Yeah.
What's cool about Knights being able to walk through buildings, is they walk through buildings and they're still like T12, T11 with like, 24 wounds. And we do it with a Dread Knight. It's like, guess what, guys? I'm T8.
Yeah, here I am.
I'm super easy to kill. Like, like I got 13 wounds. Okay. I died to heavy bolters because it was just a lot of shots and I failed all my fucking the T8's a rough spot to be at. Yeah.
He probably should have got buffed to T9 so that way Melt does wound him on 4s at least, but
I don't know.
Like the freaking Mephitic Light Hauler wounding him on 2s makes me want to jump off a cliff.
So the new Raven Guard detachment came out, and I was watching some Art of War videos on it and stuff, and they mentioned the Invictor Warsuit, which I'm like, wow, I haven't heard those words stuck together since 8th edition, or maybe mid-9th. I go ahead and look it up. I'm like, guess what? It's T8. It's T8, 13 wounds. And I'm like, mother, like, yeah, and it doesn't have the invul. It doesn't have the invul. Yeah. It's like 9-inch scout too. It's fast. Anyway, cool, like I'm just like, oh wow, this is T8. Like they think the Rhino's C9. This is T8. Like okay,
it's sad.
We're T8. Fine.
But my buddy has a lot of games with Spearhead. I haven't actually played a Spearhead yet. Storm Raven triple Grandmaster Dread Knight feels like a really solid core.
I do have a goal where I actually want to play one game with each of the detachments at least. Even the Mimi Agorium, like I'm going to do it. But
have you played Storm Raven in real life?
I have not. I have one.
Oh, it's a bitch.
I've never actually played it. No, I did play my Thunderhawk once though. That's a total flex, but yeah, I do have a Thunderhawk. I played against my Chaos Knight buddy around the beginning of 10th, right after the Thunderhawk got its rules, and he did agree to let me play it with a flight stand because he wanted to see what 805 points in one model looked like. Or
if that model was like 600 points, I think it'd be like playable.
Yeah, but only with a flight stand. So this is the thing. Okay, here's my Thunderhawk like diatribe, because every now and then somebody asks on like Facebook or the Discord like, who's played a Thunderhawk? It looks really good. It's not, because rules is written. It doesn't come with a flight stand. It doesn't come with a base. So you have to play it as a giant tank.
Do you really?
By rules, you have to play it as a tank that flies 20 inches. The thing is, anything can move block it. So unless you get a TO to be like, dude, love the meme, come and play it with a flight stand, like you've got my permission, you can't play it. It's unplayable. It never leaves your deployment zone. It always gets cover. There's no unit that'll ever see it, all of it, right? So like it always gets covered, but like it's really not good. You can't score with it. It's 805 points. You never get to use a special ability where like everything in it gets like teleport assault after it like moves and stuff. You can't use that because you never move. You can't leave. Technically, you can't even deploy it and then play it the first turn, because part of it will hang out of your deployment zone, and then by the rules, it doesn't get to do anything for its first turn, including roll saves.
I did not know how cursed that model was.
It's so bad because of it's just too big. So I had one friend who agreed to let me play it with a flight stand, and we played the one deployment zone where I could actually fit the whole thing in the deployment zone, and it still died on turn 2.
Yeah.
So it's not good. Yeah. The rules to support it are terrible. Even if it was 100 points, it would still die on turn 2.
I'd probably throw it on my list for 100.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Don't play a Thunderhawk, kids. It's awful.
Yeah. The Ravens are annoying to move around, but you can move 26 inches through walls. So it ends up being like really accessible to do stuff with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the attachments. I mean, I think the win rate is like, I don't know. Like when I play Grey Knights, it doesn't feel like a 50% win rate army like power level to me. Like there's some things that are cringe. Like some matchups feel really bad. Obviously, like Guard feels bad. Necrons I don't like that much.
Well, because Necrons have like right now the Awakened Dynasty, and it's just a gotcha. That's just a gotcha army. That's all
Yeah.
that is. I mean,
I
like,
hate that army.
not to say there aren't people out there playing it masterfully and like doing well, but like that army is hard to crack for us. Very hard.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah,
feel no
if
pain, the rezzing, like it's just
If they expose the Wraith unit too much, you can definitely like flip it in a turn. But yeah, like what I usually do in that matchup is just I out OC him the whole game and then like see if I can win.
How do you out OC20 whereas with OC3 with like a 4-up invul, double res, or even triple res?
Oh, the warrior unit is
like
no
it's just
problem.
like
you rip that shit in half.
Yeah, but you gotta like put so much into their like 300-point unit. It's like it's rough. I guess
Yeah,
your two damage actually comes in handy because it makes their 5-up feel no pain not good
Basically
with
worthless.
2 damage, but like yeah, it's hard, man. I won a game into a local very good Necron player playing Awakened Dynasty because I was playing Warpbane before they made the change to Purgation Squads where you couldn't fire indirect, and he just slightly outpositioned one Reanimator that was in the middle of the board, and I got a bunch of line of sight on it and blew it up. And it took like a Grandmaster and 2 Purgation Squads to kill it, and then I could finally start actually killing the rest of his army. That army is so hard to kill.
Yeah, I agree. I hate that army, but the 10-man intercept unit does a lot of work in that matchup too.
I guess at the time I also didn't have Purgations with full rerolls to wound and -2 AP, ignores, cover, like Purifying Flame. So that might be a little different now because but at the time it was basically like, how do I ignore a 20-man warrior brick? It's too big.
You can't. You have to interact with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But like besides like those matchups, like Knights are a little bit annoying, but I've found that matchup is like super winnable. It's just you have to just get reps in and understand like how to play all these matchups. Like if you watch me play a game against like Emperor's Children, and then watch me play a game against Knights, and then watch me play a game against like I don't know, Orcs. Like all 3 of those would look like I'm like a different player, basically. Like there was just the way how differently you need to approach like matchups with this faction. Really, really, really goes a long way, and that probably is a factor with like every army in the game, obviously. But like I plug in different stuff in the Razorback depending on the matchup. I'll plug in different, not a different leader here, but like that kind of stuff. It really, really matters on the matchup. Like against Knights, if I know that Knight player knows what he's doing, I know he's just gonna like overload his expansion with like 4 armigers, right?
Yeah.
And
you can't out OC that.
I can never kill that, right? So what I'll do in that scenario is like I'll just go run my 10-man intercept over there, see if I can grenade and kill one of them, and then tag tag one of them, and then make sure that he can't fall back outside of 9, and then now like he can't ever shoot my interceptors, right? And if he falls it back, I get to leave.
Yep.
So now like, and then now he has this weird option where like, if he stays in combat with 10 interceptors, it will probably kill another armiger, right? And then while all this is happening, I overload my expansion, and because Knights don't actually kill 2-up armor saves that well, he can't really contest my expansion because I'm probably move blocking with a Rhino or something weird, right? So then now we trade 10s back and forth until I like eventually
Punch through.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like the turn 1 against Knights is the only turn that you are actually super scared, in my experience, because that's the turn where they either shove their whole army on their expansion or put 1 armiger there and pass. That is like the only 2 options I've ever seen from a Knight player there, basically. Or they put like, if they put like a big Knight on the center and a big Knight on their expansion, and all you got to do is take a deep breath, right, and understand like what you want to do, and you're basically going to, like people really freak out when like, oh shit, I can't kill both of these. That's fine. You know what that means? It means you're going second. Right?
That's true.
It means that you're going second.
That's a good point.
It means you're going second against a Knight player playing 2 big Knights. And what does that mean? it means that he can't screen you forever. Okay. So what your goal in that scenario is essentially is get your 10-man purifier into beating the shit out of one of those two knights via rapid ingress, because they're not going to screen it correctly. It's just like impossible. And then you usually can flip, and you can like 9 times out of 10 flip a big knight when you invest correctly. And then this is where it gets, I'm getting a little complicated, but you also are going to position yourself in a way. You're also going to position yourself in a way after you kill that big knight to where if your opponent steps on the terrain feature, you get to miss. Right? If that big knight moves any direction toward the middle of the table, you get to miss your purifier unit. And his other option is to usually round the corner and shoot you from like, a bad angle. And what that means is now that knight is out of the game because he's now way on the opposite side of the table, and you now take his home point with your 10-man interceptor unit, right, and kill armigers, whatever. And now just gets to have his dumbass big knight walk around the table and score 5s, and that's it. That's the game. I know I'm oversimplifying that, but that is how my matchups go generally, and that's how I like sort of approach them. Positioning your units off of terrain to where you like agree with your opponent. Hey, look, if you tow this building to shoot through it, you're going to be within 9, so I get to pick up. And that is how you avoid the night matchup, basically. If they do that specific scenario where they go double bigs on the objectives. And there's like a million other scenarios, but like that's the scariest one that people don't know how to handle. And that answer is usually give them a 15 once, and then go like run them down from there. Basically, is like usually how I approach that. So
fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't. It usually works out really well. Armigers can't kill 2-up armor saves and cover either. By the way, it does. They just don't kill anything.
Well, they're strength 9 -1, right?
Yeah, so you're on your 2-up
save. So you're on your 2-up. Yeah. And then they're 3 damage, or are they 2 damage?
They're 3 damage. So
that's what I thought. It's the auto cannon profile in the game now, right? Like they're the guard guns with the auto cannon. That like the predators out there with the auto cannon. This auto cannon, like strength 9 -1 3 damage.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like, and that's how I approach bad matchups. Basically, is you deny primary, you score points, and you force them to allow you to miss off the table, basically, and you'll find that your bad matchups end up being very good, very close at least.
Nice.
Yep.
Man, if only I didn't have a 2-year-old and I could play more.
Mr. Rat wants to hear about the purgations.
Yeah, so I was about to actually say, like, that's an excellent time to transition. Would you like to talk about your theory crafting on your lists? Because one of the reasons that we're having this conversation at night with like no lead up, no discussion, because usually I like to drop links and stuff about 2 to 3 days before we actually do this. Instead we did it like 15 minutes before we did this.
Yeah, so I actually missed your message like altogether.
No, dude, it's all good. It was like Labor Day weekend, and like, don't worry about it. Also, we're talking about man dollies.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, this doesn't matter when it comes to real life. It's fun. I love it, but like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree. It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm gonna switch to I'm gonna switch to the list. So, are you gonna run this crazy MSU purifier thing?
Yes, I'm playing it tomorrow at like a 35 or 40 man
RTT. Wow, that's a big ass RTT.
Central Florida is. I would argue, Central Florida is the best Warhammer in the country. Actually,
better than the Midwest. I've heard like that is cutthroat as fuck.
So
like the Midwest.
Just for perspective, my last GT at Lighten Games had.
Where's Ohio?
That's like Central Midwest, yeah.
Yeah, Midwest. I heard the Ohio area like is just the worst.
Yeah, my last GT at my local shop had 7 players from Art of War at it. has 7 players from Art of War.
Oh, Florida, yeah.
Some other
Because
players that I consider Art of War caliber. Like if you were to go down that event of like 55 players, like 20 of them realistically would all win a super major. Like there was just a stacked event.
it's a lot of big fish.
Yeah, we got Tallahassee, which has some amazing players like Steve Trimble or Jacksonville. Sorry, Jacksonville is like Steve Trimble, Tucker, Ricky. Then you've got like Mark Perry around the corner. You know, there's just like so many good players in this area.
Yeah.
Anyways, my list for a month. Sorry.
Yeah, so let's just start at the top. I'll just scroll down so the viewers can watch it if they want to.
Okay, so I'm from Florida. I'm not sure where you're from. 3 hours away from me.
I'm from Oregon, so I'm like, I'm almost as far away from. Unless I was in Alaska, I could not be further from you.
Yeah, it probably cost you like $80
well,
to ship.
I guess I could technically be in fucking Washington, which would be a little further. But anyway, almost can't be further.
Okay, so my issue, I'm going to circle back to my issue of Warpaint super quick, and then why I think this list is actually good. So the list I'm playing is Warpaint. However, my issue with Warpaint has always been like you stand out there and you die. You kill something and you die, right? What if it doesn't matter if you die, right? And your whole army all swings up into like most of the game. So you're like the trading issue is solved from a different angle, essentially, by having all of your stuff cheap. Like the most expensive unit on my list is 125 points, which in Grey Knights is very odd in general. So the idea behind the list is you have 4 rolls to hit, right? Because you're playing Warpaint. Then you plug in your triple Razorbacks for your AP boost, and last cannon Razorbacks in Warpaint are like very efficient at playing because they full roll to hit wounds.
Yep.
So they like mostly will put a wound on what you want in like 80% of the time.
I've had 3 of them kill an avatar. Just by meh.
That's crazy.
Like I'm just gonna fire like 100 killers and stuff at it, and I killed a fucking avatar in shooting, like by chance. Yeah, I've had them there because in Warpaint they're rerolling everything except damage. Like it's gnarly, and that was before the changes. Although Razorbacks didn't really. Yeah. Anyway,
they have the same output.
Yeah, it's the same output.
But yeah, so. 1 second. I need to mute my mic for a second.
Sorry, that was. And this is neat. Oh, he's talking to his girlfriend, I think.
No, I'm putting some ambient noise on in the back real quick.
Oh, I was waiting for like a huge sneeze for you to just be like on camera,
So what you're allowed to do with this is, if your opponent wants to damage check you, you just get to shoot like 300 killers at it and 3 last cannons and then like 50 side cannons at them, right? So the list is incredibly side cannon centric, and we're really going to be leveraging the +1 AP from the Razorbacks. And this is where the Purgation squads fill a very cool role because, for those who don't know, they get to take 4 side cannons. 4. So there's 12 shots, full rolls to hit. And then early game profiles, so like turns 1, 2, and sometimes turn 3 profiles, are toughest 4. Right? In a lot of matchups, the early stuff your opponent is playing with is like T4 with like a 4-up armor save, or T4 with a 3-up armor save, T5, whatever. So what that means is that a Razorback Purgation unit gets to kill everything you ever care about early rounds of the game. And in Warpaint, also, you have a -2 to charge strat. So, which in certain matchups, you get to ping something with your Stormbolter. Like, let's say they whatever. And then murder whatever they put on the middle because you're shooting 12 full reroll side cannons at it, and then a last cannon from the Razorback. And I assure you that will kill, like, nearly everything your opponent will ever put there. And then you get to go make something across the board 24 inches away, -2 to move. And if that thing wants to square up to charge those guys, it's -4 to charge.
Total.
Which, for you guys,
With the strap.
that makes, right. That makes a 6-inch charge of 10. Then on top of that, there's this strat became useless with the purifier buff. However, when you're wounding on 2s and 3s, when you spend 1 CP to reroll 1s to wound, you're just become like a mini purifier unit with the purgations. Early game, if you really want to. So they end up just doing everything you need early game, and then your opponent has to deal with those guys. And then you have 3 of them. You have 3 purifiers and 3 interceptors and 2 strike squads. And then the spiciest part is the triple librarian solo, which I think is very cool.
Which is, dude, they don't get their loan off if they're solo. Like, this is the part where I'm just like, you are on another level, because he wanted to tell me all about this list, but like before we went live, and I told him, no, like we're gonna do it on camera, because I saw the triple Olivia. I'm like, but why?
So also, Punish Rat, I have a list with this with an immolator, which makes them AP2 ignore cover. Just saying. But so the triple librarian, they're D6 plus 3 shots each at 8/2/2.
Yes,
right?
yes. The Vortex got kind of a buff, mostly because they don't kill themselves now.
Correct. It's very cool, and they don't commit suicide. So they also get full rolls to hit because of Warpaint. So now what you do is you play those. You start with your whole army on the table, essentially, and you leave the 3 librarians in Deep Strike. Normally, like they stay off the table to start the game. And what you're now able to do is there is going to be a turn where you don't want to commit a purifier. You just drop all 3 of the librarians in a little teeny corner, and they nuke something. It ends up being 3d6.
Oh, they go
plus
like
9.
So they Deep Strike down like holding hands, and then they like Care Bear stare something to death.
You basically play them as a unit.
That's fascinating.
So it's 3d6 plus 9 at 8/2/2. Full rolls to hit. And then
for like 210 points or something.
Yeah, for 240 points.
Sorry.
Also still just like 4 up invulnerable save Terminators that could like scam some saves. And let's call it what it is. If you put them in like a relatively safe spot, your opponent is not supposed to go commit to kill that. That's just bad play on their part.
That's stupid.
Right?
Yeah.
So then now you're moving around the table with your Razorbacks and your 15 interceptors and your purifiers doing whatever. And this dumbass librarian little 3-man just keeps picking up and down and clearing screen.
What a fucking meme. I gotta play this now. Especially in Brotherhood, dude. You come down, you're rerolling hits and wounds with them.
Yeah,
oh man, what a bitch slap.
Yep, and so like your interceptors get to like do any sort of utility play that you need between like clearing off objectives, fire and fading, move blocking, playing your opponent's expansion because they move 15 turn 1 right out of the vehicle.
Oh my god!
So like you get to,
I'm really sorry, but so Buddy called them the three amigos. You might be a little young for that reference. Tell me you have little like sombreros you can put on them.
No, it's funny. I'm actually using Drago as one of them tomorrow.
Fucking rest in peace, right?
Yeah, rest in peace, buddy.
Dude, that is fantastic. Like little black outfits.
I probably like honestly, if it works out, I will consider that.
That's incredible.
Tomorrow, because and like another really relevant piece to like them is their footprint. You know, they're this big, right?
Yeah. No, I was gonna actually bring that up. Like one of the reasons that like the custodian guard Terminators are such a bitch. Like not only that they can break up, you know, in Lions of the Emperor, like they can break into like 1 man. They're like a 3-man, you know, 340 millimeter base is actually like hard to screen. 5 is easy.
Oh yeah.
6 obviously now, like, easier. 3 is actually like kind of hard.
And their gun shoots 24 as well, right? So and it's funny, I had the point, so one of them is 4 OC.
Nice.
One of the librarians is 4 OC.
So like, and what's great too is like sometimes, if like an orc player leaves a bunch of Gretchen, you don't need all three of them anyway.
Correct.
You need two of them, and then that's even harder to screen.
And then, like, additionally, right? So we're also, I mentioned the purgation thing. So you can like say you can like, okay, put my librarian here. All right, so the thing that can charge and kill my librarian is, 10 inches away, 11 inches away, and it moves 6. Now all of a sudden, he moves 6. No, sorry, he moves 4 now, right? So now you're 7 inches away for the charge. Then he goes to charge, and you make that charge now an 11.
Yeah, it's just like
because of the strat.
Yeah.
So then the librarian gets to like sit there and like laugh at them, and then freaking go kill them. It's like super cool. So the same concept works in Brotherhood Strike for the purgations. The problem that I run into there is you don't have enough pickups to play a super MSUE style. You start to lose value on the pickups because you can only pick up 4, right?
Yeah.
So
three with the rule and 1 with the strat. But then that also means that you're spending 1 CP every single round. Like we kind of go back to how we were with Miss in the index, where it's like we were CP starved because you knew you're going to spend 1 of your 2 CP every turn on Miss, right? So, like, what do you do with your other 1? Usually with Armor of Contempt back before it got nerfed, so.
Yeah, so what I'll do in Brotherhood Strike is I would start all 3 of the purgations off the table, and then there'll be a turn you deep strike 7 things, and shoot everything basically.
Which is over half your army because you have 13 activations in this list, right?
This list has 17.
Oh, my bad. So it's not even half your army.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm playing this in Warpbane versus Brotherhood is because you don't need to leave the table to get the full rerolls. You just get them all the time.
Yeah, with the Will Purifiers for sure. Yeah.
And then while all this is happening, like all of this crazy, like all the millions of units flying around shooting strength 8 AP2 guns at you, you just get to like run a Purifier unit up the middle and then 6-inch deep strike a strike unit, and they get to go run and charge something as well. So you just have a lot going on at once, and there's not very many factions that can address that many unique 2+ armor save profiles all over the place. And what I mean by that is a 10 guys with the 2 of armor save in 1 unit is significantly different than 2 5-mans with the 2 of armor save.
Mm.
Because you can't overload one of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, especially because right now there's a lot of army building around like 1 unit that does like a stupid amount of damage. It's like, okay, well, you put that stupid amount of damage into 5 guys, and I have 16 more guys or units of guys to go.
Yep. And then that thing has to be in a spot to kill me, right?
Right.
So which means that I now get to easily get into a spot to kill it back.
Right.
With all of this stuff.
So to go back to the Vindicator, like Boogeyman, right? Like, Vindicator will pick up a 5-man, no problem. But like, first of all, you have to put it in.
Rolls good. Yeah.
Put it in a position where it's going to get shot in the first place. And then what? Even if all 3 Vindicators get to kill something every single turn, like, you've probably won the game because you created 120 point or like a 120 point unit for a 120 point unit.
Yeah, because this is circling back to like, I'm doubling down, I'm like quadrupling down actually on how efficiently we kill medium durability things, right? Yeah. So we're now like literally 3 Vindicators could kill 3 things for 4 turns, and I still, on theory, have 5 units left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just also not going to happen because turn 1, they're not going to kill anything ever.
Sure. Like absolutely.
Turn two, like one of them is going to shoot, the tip of my spear on your expansion and kill like 4 of them. And then now, like all of a sudden, like the Vindicators aren't playing the game till like turn 3, and everything I look at dies outside of like certain profiles.
Yeah, but like you still have 3 Razorbacks too. So like,
Correct.
like let's say you roll up a Razorback, Strike Squad climbs out, whatever climbs out. You know they've got 14 OC on there. They roll up, they kill your Strike Squad, and you're like, okay, well I still have a Razorback here that you have to deal with.
Yeah, and
I still
like
hold the point. So
with you having so many units, you can now like use stuff to move block. Like interceptors are one of the best move blocking pieces in the game. Anything with fire and fade is like very, very good at move blocking, right?
and ours is built into the data sheet, not
Correct.
not like a battle focus for Eldari or whatever.
So now, since the entire list is like small, high damage, little 5-mans, the 1 5-man interceptor unit I'm going to throw away to stop you from moving for an entire turn matters like infinitely less than it would if I was playing like 3 Dread Knights and like a Purifier brick. And you know what I'm saying? Because everything everything in this list fills every role, essentially. Yeah. Which is why I think it's so cool. And the Strike Squad, the second Strike Squad is literally just there to be a 6-inch deep striking thing from Crow. And it's really relevant that they're OC 10. That's very significant because they like out OC Armiger. They out OC like they tie OC now everything. Yeah, correct. So you end up with just so much flexibility in how you play. And again, this is so far all theory. I might just play against a guy playing 3 Dorns, and I'm just like, well, fuck.
Well, this sucks, yeah.
But again, I still have like infinite shots at it, right?
But also like 3 Dorns, like okay, that's kind of a meme list, not really, but kind of. And then it's also like Guard isn't one of the boogeymen in the meta right now. I mean, they're a boogeyman for us, but they're not like, because you're thinking, like there's that, meta kind of level thing, right? Where it's like, well, they're probably, if they are making an all-comers list, they're probably not making an anti-Grey Knight list. You know what I mean? Because we're not like top of the meta either.
So one of the reasons that Grey Knight's actually that contributes to the win rate is everything that kills the meta kills Dread Knights.
Yeah, for sure. Right? Absolutely.
So Dread Knights are just in the crossfire of everyone killing everything that other stuff plays.
Like a Gladiator will pick up a Dread Knight with no problem every activation, and it's cheaper.
Pretty much.
The only difference is it sucks in melee, and the Dread Knight doesn't. Right? Like, but
yeah, the Dread Knights.
If you die in shooting, it doesn't matter.
The Dread Knights just are outrageously disappointing every time I play them. Every time I play one, I feel like I want that to be a Razorback and a unit inside, because that's the same points essentially. But that's kind of my idea for the list. I think the Purgation with all the Psycans is super sick. Because that's just a lot of damage out of the guys. Keep in mind, there's 3 of everything I told you. There's 3 of, right? It's not like one of these. It's 3 of all of these units. 3 Interceptors, 3 Purifiers, 3 Purgation, 3 Razorbacks, 3 Librarians. You've got Crow. You've got Crow to like deal with maybe something that's a little more durable, and then you've got the 2 Strike Squads for like sticky and utility stuff. I think the concept of the list is like super interesting. I'm excited to see how it does tomorrow, frankly. But
me too, man.
We'll see.
This seems. I think that it seems really interesting.
Yeah, it makes my good matchups like unlosable in my opinion, and it makes like the bad matchups like weirdly different. So we'll have to see how it turns out.
And there is something to be said about just flipping your opponent like something weird, right? Like, because some people would be at lunch, they get their like matchups, they're like, oh, I'm playing Grey Knights, and they just flip their phone over. Like, because they assume, oh, I'm going to be playing against 3 to 4 Dread Knights, like I've got the tools for that, and then they show up at the table, and you're like, guess what, baby? I got no Dread Knights. And they're like,
because it didn't really sound like it, but this is 55 2-up armor save dudes. This list.
Yeah. And like what I was just saying about gladiators, they are really bad into infantry.
Yeah,
I mean, they'll kill two of your infantry a shooting phase.
And
actually, they won't even do that.
Gladiators, AP2 side cannons are really good at killing gladiators.
Well, yeah. Because like they won't even do that because they don't even get the rerolls into infantry. Like they only get the rerolls into monsters and vehicles. So
Yeah,
like they reroll all hits, all wounds, all damage. But
to nuke the guy with the store bolter.
Yeah.
The
okay.
guy with the store bolter gets nuked.
Exactly. It used to be this in 9th edition. It was the squad leader always died last, and in 10th edition, the squad leader always dies first. The purgation spots.
If purgations let you take 9 side cannons, I'd be playing 30, but they don't.
No.
I'm playing.
As far as I know, they never have. So
I'm playing the theoretical maximum side cannons possible from infantry dudes.
Yeah.
From a unit perspective.
I am excited. It sounds like it's solid like game plan. I'm excited because I was saddened to see that they made the Dread Knight data sheets, especially the well, I guess the normal Dread Knight one didn't actually change at all, but they made the Grandmasters better, and I'm like, stop. And then they gave us a vehicle detachment. I'm like, stop making Dread Knights good. Like, what I want to see, like, if I was designing the Grey Knight Codex, I would make it so that, like, a Grandmaster Dread Knight is like a 400-point unit, and it would have a data sheet to match. It would be just like, it'd be like super tanky, ultra killy. It'd be like a 400, it'd be a knight, basically. And then I would give it Epic Hero or some shit and be like, that's it. That's all you get. You get one of them. Like, fill the rest of your shit with infantry. Have you read the books? Right? Like,
don't get me started on the new weapons being unplayable.
Like, yeah, oh god, the new melee weapons are so bad. The anti-infantry, or the anti-character one is actually kind of funny.
It's cool.
Like, actually, into the, if you were fighting an all great, greater, the old Monster Mash list where it's all the great, greater demons, he would actually have a field day. He'd be having a great time. So we'd never went on to.
You're still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. He's pretty solid at killing that stuff. My issue with him is always getting him there. He usually has to stand there and take a round of shooting and hope he doesn't die.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And that's actually one of the problems I have with the book in general is I was hoping there would be one detachment that pushed into durability.
Oh yeah, no. I think Banishers is unironically Banishers is the most durable because they have miss.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't saddened. I mean, I wasn't sad to see Paladins get less durable but more killy. I was saddened to see Terminators get less killy and no more durable. I always thought lethal hits on the charge was bad anyway. Then we lost Drago to guarantee charges. And then it's we get extra AP into things we don't we were already good at killing. So Terminators just got bad. -3 AP into a Rogel Dorn would be kind of good. But we don't get -3 AP, we get -2. So
yeah, the fact that they added the no vehicle or monster clause for that is just so annoying.
That's what it's good into. Yeah, exactly. It's
now okay, cool. I get +1 AP against the Terminator that I'm likely charging that has a 4-up and vulnerable anyway. Or,
you charge a unit of 5 Battle Sisters that you were going to mop up anyway, and now you just really mop them up.
Yeah, Terminator's, the 4-man Terminator has a cool role, holding your expansion, in my opinion.
Didn't you say they were actually... Oh, holding your expansion specifically, okay.
Yeah, because they're 12 OC that is never less than OC 6 and never needs a Battle Shock ever.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. I mean, they can fill that role in some matchups, but I cut them altogether.
Yeah, because you said that you played was it a tournament or just a couple of games and you brought some 4-man Terminator squads and they were awful?
I played 5 rounds.
Oh, it was a GT. Oh,
it was
shit.
a 5-man team event, yeah. So they're really good in the matchups they're really good in, and in the matchups they're not good, they're worthless. So
That tracks.
For me, that equals a unit that I'm never going to play again.
Yeah, because you have to bring an all-comers list. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Like, you could throw a librarian on there, but now all of a sudden you've got 240 points that's sitting on your expansion the whole game. It's like,
Yeah.
it's lame, boring. But yeah, that's it. I mean, the warp list I think is really cool. I don't think there's any other super cool tricks. Like, I have another build of it that cuts the strike squads for a Caluxus, an Immolator, and a sister unit.
The Immolator's just there to strip cover.
So you get so that package gets you 5 more Melta shots, and then you strip cover, and you still get sticky via the sisters.
Oh, okay.
So the sister unit, when you take an Immolator, you're allowed to split the sister unit. So you get to have 5 sit on your home point and sticky it like the strike squad would. And then the other one, you just drive to your expansion and park them on it, and then they sticky that. And then the Immolator is usually in really safe positions to like give your Razorback dudes.
Effectively -3. Yeah.
So yeah, right. So now you're getting out of a Razorback at AP2, 8/2/2 full rolls to hit, rerolling 1s with 12 shots.
Ignore cover. Yeah.
Now, the reason I opted to not go for that is because the stuff that the purgation units are going to be shooting early game are dying anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're dead no matter. Like
strikes, Jaegers, or scouts, Jaegers. Like
nothing that my opponent is playing with turns 1 and 2 is going to require me to be AP2 ignore cover, basically.
Yeah.
And then keep in mind the interceptors get to fire and fade for free and like not risk their lives at all. So, you know, you're asking your opponent's skirmishing unit to survive 15 side cannon shots and 24 stormbolter shots and a last cannon with all full rolls to hit.
Yeah.
That's what and then like, cool, you can't do that. Well, you're dead. Cool. And then
surprise, you can't do that.
Then then your interceptors get to jump behind the wall, and you know life is good. And then you go from there. And then you're obviously gonna plug your transports with different stuff depending on the matchup. Like I won't go into too much detail here, but like search and destroy, I'm always gonna have a strike squad in my Razorback up the middle if I go first. Right? So that's like one transport there. And then because you're on search, right, your other one, you need to make sure is positioned in a way to attack your opponent's expansion. And so because you're doing that, you need to have 5 interceptors in it because they need to go 15 inches that way and go attack that. So that leaves one open, which the open one, usually I would have my 4 purgations in it. But then you have to make sure, like, if you go second, you're going to trade out, this is like the strike squad one's going to scout backwards. They're going to get out. The purifiers are going to get in, or whoever is going to get in, and then you're going to drive up. But again, when you go second, who cares? You're going second, you win. So, life is great. Whenever I go second, I'm just...
That's a t-shirt, man. Like, who cares? Like you win second, you win.
Grey Knights, going second with Grey Knights usually feels like so comfortable for me. And it probably does for a lot of people. Just because of how they get to play. When you go second with Grey Knights, just like rule of thumb, don't do anything.
Like a lot of this, this is like showing my mid-table shit. But like, if I go first and I pull like not great cards, sometimes I will just reposition some stuff and then be like, okay, like it's your turn.
Yeah. So
like because it's like I don't. Yeah, but that's how I feel, is because if I move out or I do anything, especially if I have bad secondaries that I can't score, right? Like if I get the like secure no man's land and like overwhelming force or whatever, where I can easily score 10 or 12 points or whatever it is, I'll do that because that's a huge amount of points. But like if I get like established locus and I can't reach the middle, or I get like fucking behind enemy lines or something, which, do you just redraw that one right now? I don't remember. Anyway, like my point is, if you get 2 bad secondaries, it's like I'm not gonna go throw away like an interceptor unit for 3 points.
Correct. You should never.
That feels terrible. Yeah.
You should never, ever, ever score locus for 2 points on turn 1.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's
no one ever.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I might pull some bad cards, and then it's like I'll reposition a bit and just be like, it's your turn. I need you to come out. I need you to do something. I need you to give me shit to like kill.
When you go first, and your cards don't tell you what to do, what you need to make, it's like every turn.
No,
one,
that's
like,
absolutely true. Yeah.
I drew like assassination, no prisoners, turn 1. Okay, what am I gonna do? So what you want to do in turn 1 is your transports. Depends on the layout, obviously,
sure.
But you want to stage your transports in a way that is going to guarantee deny your opponent's expansion. If you go if you go first, and your opponent scores their expansion, you probably lose that game like 70% of the time instantly, right? So if they set up to attack, if they attack your expansion and like deny it on your end, and you don't score theirs or you don't deny theirs, you're probably going to lose that game like 70% of the time, just like already right there. Because when you go first in a lot of matchups, you have to make up 5 to 10 points somewhere over the course of the game, because that is what they're going to score on the bottom turn, if that makes sense.
Absolutely does. Yeah.
So
and to remind people who are like listening, who maybe don't like know that, is remember that the person that goes second, they actually score primary at the end of the turn on their 5th turn.
Yep.
That's it. So you have to always keep that in mind if you go first.
Yeah, the Grey Knight problem when you go first is that we think we're playing this really cool even game, which you probably are, but you're never killing enough stuff. They're just gonna always win, because they just get to like walk their stupid ass Rhino onto the middle point and score an extra 5 points to win. What you need to do is, when you go first, should be impossible for your opponent to score their expansion. That is your whole life goal when you go first, is to make sure that your whole army needs to be able to commit to deny their expansion and score yours. That is 101. If something goes in the middle, you have to be able to kill it as well, but like that shouldn't be a real problem because it's in the middle and you can shoot it from like every angle ever, or go deny it. Where people struggle is they go first, they scoot their thing behind the building, they don't touch their expansion because they're scared it's going to die. They leave their Razorback behind the wall 30 inches away from their expansion, and then their opponent gets to score 10.
I don't know about 30 inches, man. This feels targeted. Right, this feels targeted.
I don't know. Is that what you do? I don't know.
No, I mean, that's it.
But
that's the joke.
Intercept. Yeah. You just got to make sure that like you're moving in a way that like can get to their expansion. And then you're going to be able to do your pickups and stuff, but like we're going to assume that like we probably don't have an angle necessarily. There's a lot of things that go into it, but like your goal is to score your expansion and deny theirs when you go first. That is your whole life. And then when you go second, your goal is actually like sort of the opposite. Your goal is to stop them from getting a 15 ever, basically. Because you're going to always make that up at the bottom turn. So it's kind of, that's what it is.
This is why I said, like, I'm mid-tables, brother.
Like, I'm sure you're better than you give yourself credit.
I'm the guy that almost wants, like, I go to a GT, I almost want to lose that first turn, like that first game. Because then
you can, like, relax the rest of the time.
Yeah, I can, like, show up to a table half drunk. Have a great time. Like all the all the like stress is lifted at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
Then you're just playing fun Warhammer, dude.
if I lose the first one, my goal is don't get the wooden spoon. And if you're at a GT, like, odds are you're not getting, like, you have to play real bad to get the wooden spoon.
Yeah, a lot of stuff
point.
has to go wrong
Yeah.
for that to happen, for sure. Yeah, I don't know how I ended up on that, but yeah, that was all I got for that.
No, that's fantastic. That's the kind of stuff that's, like, so big for people who are trying to, you know, like, you don't have 60 or 80 bucks a month to drop on, like, you know, Art of War to get coaching, you know, or whatever, right? Like, that's the kind of stuff that can, like, I wanted to make this channel about. Like, how do you get better at the game? How do you listen to players who might not be, like, world class, but are very good, and you can learn from them.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to Worlds for what it's worth.
No, for like I'm sorry, that wasn't.
No, I know what you mean. I know.
Wasn't supposed to be like
I just
this guy is giving up his free time to be on my stupid show. Oh, I'm gonna beat him down. No, that's not what I meant. Like, I mean, you know, like that's the cool. Like, you can't. It's hard to get better at anything unless you're engaged with people who are better than you are. I'm saying that as a software engineer. I'm saying that as, like, you know, like somebody who is in the army. I'm saying that as like somebody who, you know, is a Warhammer player, or just anything that's remotely competitive at all. If you're not actively engaged with people who are better at it than you are, who want to teach you, like, you're not gonna advance.
Yeah, like, I consider myself, like, very good at this game, but, you know, I play with Mike Buzeni and Bryce Bennett, like, a lot, and they're both better than me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
I have a very cool, like, group of people in my area to where, you know, if I was to go to, like, a random event in, like, the middle of nowhere, I'd probably look like the best player I've ever seen. But you know, down here, yeah, I have a lot to learn. I try and improve whenever I can. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if, like, I went to a random have fun tournament at my local gaming store, like, there might be one or two people there who are, like, trying, you know, who are as good as I am. And a lot of them are like, fuck it, I just want to bring, like, this eclectic unit of lore accurate units, and then they all die on, like, turn 2, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
which is
if
not,
I end up in those kind of games, I make sure that I don't kill them, basically.
yeah,
It's not,
well, you want,
yeah.
Yeah, like, you want to make sure that you're, like, you give them a game too. Absolutely. Like, I wouldn't do that. For instance, if like some 12-year-old is like, it's my first game ever, like, I'm not gonna roid out, like, make that guy hate his life.
Yeah. Oh, I can shoot the tip of your spear. You're dead, kid.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, like, you know, I had can't remember his name now. Ed. Oh my God. Anyway, this guy Ed from the UK, he did amazingly with Teleport Strike Force. Like, came in second in the Super Major. I think it might have been the London GT even. I can't remember. Now I'm just gonna look like an idiot because everybody's like, okay, well, yeah, like, gonna go look this up. Anyway, he did very, very good. He lost to his teammate who was playing guard in the finals, but he was playing MSU Terminators, and everybody's like, how do you make this work? And it's like, well, you have to be him. Like, yes. Like, he is so good at this game at a level that is like, it's like, I'm not a basketball guy. In fact, I'm not like a sports guy, but like, I imagine it's like, how do you play against Michael Jordan? You gotta be Michael Jordan, and guess what? You're not. So,
Yeah, you're not him.
like, he's so much better than you are. It's just like, like, you know, it's like, don't play this guy's list. Just don't.
Yeah. Play style and player lists are they matter a lot more than people think.
Oh God, well, now I feel Ed. I want to say Ed Harris, but I know that's actually an actor.
Ed Sheeran either.
No, it's not Ed Sheeran. No. Ugh. I swear I can't escape that guy. He's in like every mall. Like, his music videos are playing on walls. Just can't escape that guy. God damn it. Anyway, whatever. It's been almost 2 hours, man. Do you want to go over your last list really quick? I know you had one more that you wanted to talk about.
This one isn't quite nearly as interesting, but this is basically what I would consider banishers. Like, I'm basically done with banishers, essentially, like list building for it, because I want to explore some other stuff. So this list is essentially what I consider like my completed banishers experience over like 20 something games. This is what I have refined.
Okay. I noticed you have a Grandmaster in Nemesis Dreadnought here.
Yeah, you called me out, dude. But yes, so over the course of those games, I'm able to do a lot of things really, really well, except make my opponent scared of anything. Now, whether they should be scared or not is, arbitrary, essentially. But when I tell them I have a Grandmaster Dread Knight in Deep Strike that full rerolls hit, wound, and damage with a 14 3d6+1 weapon, they just naturally will play the game differently. And that is all that I care about. I don't care. I will hold that guy for five freaking turns if it makes my opponent play the game a different way. Because right now, my opponent can just like la-di-da-di-da run whatever they want somewhere with no fear or no thought of me threatening it. And again, whether that's true or not is whatever. Because the purifiers can kill it, this and that. But when you have a Grandmaster in your list and you keep it off the table for the majority of the game, your opponent will always have that thing in the back of their mind, and they're just naturally not going to play the game aggressive enough with some of their more valuable units. Because if they ever lead with that unit that I want to kill with that guy, it dies, more or less. Because I get to rapid ingress the guy in for free because of his own ability. And then I get to run up and kill it like 8 times out of 10. And then the guy also rerolls once to hit, which is like actually the only reason I'm playing him, because he can take the enhancement to reroll once to hit. But again, once I plugged him into my list and I watch how differently my opponent like asks questions and plays the game, I'm just like, this is like the ultimate boogeyman, dude. So I just threw it in, and he honestly never does anything ever. He freaking sucks. But what he does to the game is like so valuable that I'm gonna keep him probably forever. His guns are ass. His melee never does what you think it does, and he can't do anything, and he's just an idiot. But he's there.
But he can rapid ingress for free, and he's kind of scary.
So there.
And he can.
This is a funny
can he advance and charge in this to tackle, or is it infantry only?
Yeah, he can't do shit.
Okay.
I have a funny story.
How do you really feel?
I don't know how long you've played with him. Probably a long time.
Since ass into 8th.
Okay.
So 6 years.
Does the word jink mean anything to you?
Yes. Fuck you.
Okay. So here's what I did. I can't remember what edition that jink was in. But Orcs is my other army, right? So what I would do, and this is the power of mentality.
I mean, you mean the Jink is the like old Eldari like warp power, right? To like double move or something like that.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you don't know what Jink is. This might not be funny, but hopefully, hopefully someone in the chat knows about this. So Jink says, if you target a thing that has this ability, your opponent gets to reactive Jink. All right, it's just a thing you say. It just happens. And what Jink says is that everything that shoots at that thing for the rest of the turn hits on snapshots. Snapshot means you don't hit on sixes.
I don't remember snapshot at all.
So you don't hit on sixes. But what it also did, it meant that the thing that jinked also hits on snapshots, right? So when something hits on sixes and it only has guns, it effectively becomes useless, right?
Yeah.
So what I did, or at this time, Orcs could play like 250 boys in a list, right?
That's a lot of boys.
So this is what I'll do every turn, because flyers were broken as fuck, and I couldn't kill them ever because I'm playing Orcs and I'm on the ground and I never kill them. And what I did is I gave every unit I had like 5 rocket launchers, okay? And a rocket launcher can indeed kill it, right? But it never will. ever in its life. Okay, so I have 100 rocket launchers in my list, and I'm telling you, I would never kill this flyer ever with 100 rockets. But if I shot each of these rockets individually, my opponent would never jink. So what I would do is I'll go, hey, dude, I have 100 rockets and I'm going to shoot all of them this flyer. Do you just want to jink?
And he's like, okay.
And they're like, 100? They go 100? And I go, yeah, it's 100 rocket launchers. And he'd go, yeah, I want to jink. And then I just wouldn't shoot them and I would move on with the rest of the turn. And that allowed me to win a bunch of games.
So you're making him useless by playing a mind game, even though you know you're not going to hit him anyway.
Like I theoretically could.
Sure.
It's just like incredibly unlikely. And I effectively removed the thing from the game by threatening it. And I'm not lying to my opponent. I'm not gaming him. I'm just like, hey, dude, I'm about to shoot 100 rockets at you. Do you just want to jink? Because if I'm like, here's 5 rockets, here's 5 rockets, here's 5 rockets, here's 5 rockets, he probably never will jink.
Right. But if you're saying, like, I have a total of 100, yeah.
It's going to be 100 coming at you. Do you want to jink or not? And he'd be like, yeah, I'll just jink now. And I'm actually giving him more information than he probably should have. But anyways.
But it played into your, like, come on. Come on.
Hey, I was just giving him the information, dude. I don't know. And I always...
You're like that guy who like moves 3 units up. You're like and every time you're like, you want to overwatch, and then you move the next unit up. You're like, you want to overwatch, and then you move the next unit up. You're like, you want to overwatch, and then like you finally move the 4th unit up that you actually don't want to get overwatched. You don't say a fucking thing. I know you.
No, I
know you. And then you get overwatched, and you're like, damn it.
Yeah, that's tricky. But anyways, that was a whole tangent. But that Dread Knight is he does that role and he does that role very well. And other times he does something, sure, but you know,
it's mind games. Yeah,
it's rare.
Then I have mind games.
Double Razorback. In this detachment, they're not nearly as efficient as Warpbane, but like they do the standard transport stuff. They score me points. They go move block. They do whatever. And then my favorite unit, probably in the whole book still, is the 10-man interceptor unit. That unit gets to do so much for you. I'm playing a Rhino I'm not playing a Rhino in this list, even though I could. But they move 12 with access to advance and charge, and they fire at phase 6, and they take up such a big footprint. They're able to do like whatever you want usually, and then like tell your opponent if they move their army, I get to miss. Is usually the exact play pattern for that unit. And it's also 30 attacks at 622 in melee, which
it's not nothing. Especially like if you tell them 10-man can move, 15 in advance to charge.
In hindsight, actually, that Razor, I'm supposed to have a Rhino and one Razorback and one Rhino, so I'm going to fix that.
Oh, okay. Well,
because I wanted them to move 15 inches, actually. It's actually relevant that they move 15, not 12.
I gotcha.
So yeah.
So you got a 2 Storm Bolters, 100 killer.
Here, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Later. Bye, buddy. Anyway, I got this in here now. And you're at 1995.
I'm at 1965.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, 1965, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Yeah, it's all good. Then I have a 5-man interceptor here. They're just like same utility stuff. Then what I put in after a decent amount of games is an 8-man paladin unit. Sorry, excuse me. 8-man paladin with lone op 18. So the reason I plugged this in is because of how you can deploy it. When you have lone op 18, you can deploy it like way more aggressively, which allows you to stage it
to contest middles, stuff like that.
Yeah, so there's on a lot of layouts, there's firing lanes that can clip you from like 30 inches out. However, when you're lone op 18, those firing lanes
good luck.
mostly don't exist, right?
Yeah.
So what that allows you to do is that you can deploy just like on the line on a lot of firing lanes and just roll in advance, and then all of a sudden that paladin unit is like staged to go like do whatever it wants, which is really relevant. And plus that unit is has 66 seal, so they're all +1 AP and all
Plus
that.
1 AP, yeah.
Which is relevant. So you'll have 3 AP2 side cannons, and then the librarian's AP3. So they end up doing like a lot of damage. And I play the side cannon there because you're loading up 18, right? So if you start having to use incinerators, you're like being really redundant with your rules. So like, okay, I'm going to shove myself within 12 with my low knob 18 to shoot these. So you get on 2s with paladins, like it's fine. They're good.
And then like, I mean, but you kind of want these guys to be charging stuff, right? At least big stuff that has to die. Because they will,
depend on the matchup, yeah.
Like they'll put down a big knight with like,
well, think about
like,
this,
like lethal hits. Woo!
Yeah, they fuck. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So think about this, right? Like in some matchups, your opponent has no feasible way of dealing with an 18-inch low knob on my expansion, which means that I'm scoring a 10 for every turn of the game, essentially, right? So all that means is I just use the entire rest of my army to deny their expansion, and I will win that game always. It's very simple. It's obviously a little oversimplified, but like if you look at your opponent's list and you're like, okay, that can't kill me in melee, that can't kill me in melee, that thing can kill me in shooting, sort of. Cool.
You mean the paladin unit specifically?
Yes, and then this plays into the Grandmaster Dread Knight thing a bit, because what can actually shoot and kill a paladin unit? Okay, like a Forge Fiend. Like a Rep X to some extent, like Canis Rex, those kind of profiles, right?
I don't know that one Forge Fiend could pick up. I mean, they'd have to roll a little hot and you'd have to roll a little cold, but I think you're going to lose most of the unit. It's going to be like a 2-man when you're done with it.
Enough to matter, right?
Yeah, enough to really matter.
If that thing is that polarizing to what I'm trying to do, because they have to come within 18 to do that, that now means you get to rapid ingress the Dread Knight and run it in there. And then also too, if your opponent like commits like only one thing, right, to shoot those paladins within 18, and you rapid the Dread Knight in their face, and now they have to pick one, and odds are, you know what I'm saying? And then now odds are like a Dread Knight is like not, it's not like worthless at die. You know what I'm saying? You can still just like, save and stuff.
But if they fire at it instead, and let's say they fire one Forge Fiend out of 2 at it, and it lives, it's got like 2 wounds left on it, like they almost have to fire the other Forge Fiend at it, you know?
Correct, exactly.
Yeah, and then your paladins get to live.
Right, and you score another 5, and then you're still denying theirs. It's just like super interesting. And that unit does a lot for you, and I really like it. Then you've got the Crow of Fire brick, which just does outrageous damage. I don't know, special weapon. I have incinerators right now, but I actually might just change it to side cannons. We'll see.
Incinerators are an interesting. I almost like them better on the 5-mans, because you can't just pick one, not both, but because those matchups like Drukhari, if you say like, oh yeah, all of these guys have flamers in it, they're like, fuck. Yeah. Because they're like, I don't want to.
What I found when I play the Crow unit, right? And this is advice for anyone playing Granites. Crow's unit is a shooting platform first, not a melee unit. If that makes sense. Like there is very few scenarios that you should be rapid ingressing Crow's unit to charge stuff. I think that is a mistake in most scenarios. You should be using the rest of your list for the front line, because your goal is to get 3 or 4 shooting activations out of Crow, and that's the main reason I'm leaning towards side cannons, is because I can now be 18 inches away instead of 12 inches away. Because when you're 12 inches away, you're susceptible to a lot of weird charges and annoying things. When you're 18 inches away,
Yeah, like blood surge moves, and then
correct.
yeah, all kinds of crazy. Yeah.
And you're still like doing like pretty efficient damage. Because I treated once I took that unit and was like, okay, this is a shooting platform that is good in melee instead of a melee unit that is good at shooting. My performance with that unit increased by like
So
1,000.
So I know it's getting late for you. We just passed the 2 hour mark. I don't want to keep this going too long, but like,
Sure.
how do you? So I was like rated in WoW for years, and I'm always the guy who's like, I need to get maximum efficiency from every unit every single fucking time. Like that's the way. So it's like this guy. These guys are great at shooting, but they're good at melee. Like I want them to be shooting and then melee, shooting and then melee, shooting and then like every turn. That's ideally what I want them to be doing in my head. And so I think I get caught up in this cycle where I have to have them be doing that.
So I do it when I do a Crows unit. I do a checks and balance system with it essentially. So we got to remember that is a 340 point unit.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a do nothing cheap unit, right? So if let's say if I can shoot it from a safe spot on turn 2, shoot it from a safe spot on turn 3, and then rapid ingress and shoot it and charge something turn 4, that is the max. That is the max you can get out of that unit. Because if you don't shoot it turn 2 because you're trying to keep it safe, then you rapid ingress at turn 3, charge and kill something and die. You have now lost 2.5 turns of efficiency with that unit. If that makes sense.
Okay. No, absolutely. Okay.
Now the scenarios where I said like I would rapid and charge him, those are scenarios where like my opponent has committed a very, very key piece of their army earlier than like early in the game. Right? Like an example would be the Wraith brick. Crow's unit is one of the few answers to that you have in the book, right? Another one would be like, well, in this list, you don't need to as much as you have the pals and shit. But like, if they throw a Chaos Knight on an objective, right? You want
A big boy.
You want to shoot. You like shooting, charging, and killing that really, really changes the like dynamic of the game. That's very good. But like, when we're like rapid ingressing Crow in to kill like 5 Terminators, I don't really like that kind of stuff because now he's dying for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I only rapid Crow in 1 time usually per game. And that's it when he's ready to charge. My goal is to shoot with that guy from really safe angles like 2 or 3 times, and then he comes in and cleans the game up after that.
That's interesting.
Kind of like how I approach it. Because even like from an efficiency standpoint, in like a high level to mid level Warhammer game, there is very, very, very few units that make a charge on turn 2 or turn 3 that survive the next turn, because your opponent has most of their army left still at that point.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
fair.
likely charging onto their expansion or the middle, right? You're not really charging to your safe side of the table. You're charging to their dangerous side of the table.
Yeah.
So you end up like dying for usually not as much as you're worth. So that's sort of how I look at that unit.
No, see, that's a kind of like mental stuff that like, because, being like a raiding guild leader who's a main tank, which anybody in chat who's raided probably
Final Fantasy 14.
like probably has heard this before. That's the same type of person who ends up doing both roles. But like, you want to min-max everything. And so for me, when I started playing, especially, and I've gotten better, but I still get like caught up in that. It's just like, I want them to shoot and charge every turn. I want them to.
When's the last time you shot and charged and then done it again?
Yeah, exactly. See
what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's obviously scenarios in which like that can happen, and I'm not saying it's impossible, and that's where you gauging like where we're at in a game as a player comes into it. But for me, like turns 1, like 1, 2, or 3, if something makes a charge, I just write that unit off as dead, basically. And what I'm doing whenever I make a play like that, I'm looking at what my opponent is going to commit to kill that, and setting up a thing to kill the thing that they're going to use to kill the thing that just made a charge. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just
So
it's one of those things that's like done in hindsight, but when I'm like turn 5 on a 2-day, I didn't sleep well last night before. I'm just like, yeah, YOLO, fuck it.
yeah, so like my checks and balances is before I like commit like a real unit. So like before I would commit the Crows unit, the Paladin unit, or the Dread Knight, I'm gonna look at and this is an example I gave to one of my like newer friends, and it actually really helped him. So I look at what the board is gonna look like versus what it does look like currently, if that makes sense. So like if my opponent has a Forge Fiend behind a wall that I can't interact with, and I charge under the middle, where is the optimal place that he can place that Forge Fiend to shoot me? And then I'll go like, okay, so it would be right there. Now, if he puts it there, do I have any way to answer that Forge Fiend shooting me with like a charge or with the shooting activation or something? And if that answer is no, I'm going to look at the play I was going to make and see if I can do that play safer, basically. Or is there a way I can make that play to force him to have the Forge Fiend have to come on the other side of the wall, where I'll be able to rapid ingress on this safe side of the wall and charge it. Like, there's a lot of cool things that go into like that.
Yeah, and again, that's just where you're a better player than I am, like 100%.
You ever want to play on TTS or something? I'll watch you play, or I'll do whatever, bro. I'm always happy to help.
Yeah, I would. I mean, like, I was actually thinking, it might be fun to just record some games and then send them to you later, because the 3-hour time difference is pretty rough sometimes. So, and I'm stuck.
I'm feeling a little tired at the moment.
I see you starting to slow down, like you're starting to yawn, and like your eyes are getting.
Yeah, normally I'd be very chipper at this time of day, but I was doing the sod thing for like 10 hours today.
Yeah. Well,
so
I mean,
feeling it.
Now might be a good time actually to start wrapping things up. I'll give everybody one more chance to ask some questions. Thank you for hanging out with me for 2 hours.
It's really fun, actually. I like it.
Yeah, no, I mean, just two nerds talking about something they love, right? Like, it's great.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Fantastic. So, obviously, you had an RTT tomorrow. What's coming up for you and your team?
So, we've got the RTT tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm missing Crucible this year for a wedding. Very sad.
Is it your
Crucible
wedding?
Nah, it's not a wedding.
It's okay.
It's Crucible is a super major that is hosted in literally my hometown, which is like 10 minutes from me. So it's very sad. That,
no.
I'm missing it, but it's okay. I always told my girlfriend that real life stuff will always come before the game. So I'm not mad or anything. It's just sad. And then at the end of the month, it's like the 23rd, me and some of the Central Florida guys, realistically a very, 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 very good team. We are going to Salt Lake City to play in what's called Challengers Cup. It's an invite-only team event. It's like the biggest one of the year outside of WTC. So we're playing with 300 players, which is like 60 teams or something like that. So it's really exciting, and
it's a lot. It's a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
Is there are they 5-man teams?
8-man team.
Oh my god! So it's not 300 people. It's
or no, it's
60 times 8.
Sorry, there's 300 players. Whatever the math.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, yeah, it's a lot of people.
So our intention is we're trying to win.
So 60 times 5 is 300. So there you go.
Okay, so then it's like 40-ish teams then.
Or yes, 60 times 5.
Something like that. But I'm currently down to play AdMech. However, I am probably just going to play Grey Knights.
Yeah.
Anyways, because we'll see though. We have a lot of discussions left to do on factions, especially if we get a slate before the rules cut off, that's going to change a lot. But
it's true, yeah. Yeah, if we didn't even get to that, like, how would you like to see Green Knights change? But
I would just point drops.
Yeah,
That's it.
I
think our rules are fine.
Yeah. One of the things I'm really upset about is that, like, none of the detachments, I guess there's one with an enhancement to reroll charges. Like, we got no way to, like, deep strike charge.
There's very, very few rerolls in this whole book.
Like, no +1 to charge at a deep strike or something like that. Like, as a, detachment rule, or there's nothing. So.
Yeah. They very clearly are terrified of the army role, and they tried to balance the book around it.
That's been 10th edition for us, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very clunky codex that I've found a way to love. Basically, yeah. But, like, I think when you get into the, like, reworking rules and stuff, it just becomes very, like, whiny a little bit, but, like, what I would like to see would be the kill team come out. Grey Knights do desperately need a kill team.
Kill team's just gonna be our strike squad box.
Here's what it's gonna be, bro. It's gonna be a strike squad with capes and hoods, and they're gonna have infiltrate.
Oh, and you want them to be? Oh, I see.
It's gonna be a Phobos strike squad, and they're gonna have infiltrate and scout, and then their ability is going to say you can deep strike within 6 inches of them and charge.
Even Terminators, unlike
If I get one of those 3 abilities on that data state, I'd be very happy.
So recently, there have been some detachments released with new chapter masters. One Imperial Fist, one is Raven Guard. We lost our chapter master. We haven't gotten one of our bonus detachments yet. Could we see Grey Knight, or could we see Kaldor or back soon?
Drago Strike Force or something.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Drago. I could see them giving Drago a Logan style model for sure, like on a giant ass base. Like
yeah,
this.
like a Hellbrick kind of, like the 50 mil.
Yeah, Abaddon-esque.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
An Abaddon style Drago would be freaking awesome.
That'd be really cool. There are some pretty neat conversions of Abaddon into Kaldor, which I love because it's taking, like, the quintessential chaos leader and then making him Kaldor Drago.
Making the best, the most pure dude ever.
Yeah. All right. Nobody said anything in chat. It's super late for you. I've had a big gimlet and almost 3 liters of water to drink during this conversation, so I need to bounce for one specific reason. So thank you, Garrett, for coming on. Good luck tomorrow. I'll let you go. Hit me up when things are over and let me know how it went, because I am...
Have me on again, or play games, or send me games, or review games.
I told you this would be fun.
This is cool. This is very fun. I hope I handled myself well for you.
No, you're great. You're great.
All right, man. I really appreciate it. I am going to go to sleep.
All right. Everybody, I got to do the sign out stuff. Check the descriptions below. Join the Discord links. Please follow Garrett on his Objective Secure. I'm sure he's gonna outrun me in subs in no time. So with that said, everybody, I will see you later, and don't forget to call your